Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn with me, Alpha Pi Omega, and Ukraine. So, this is probably the last episode before we declare war. Our units are in position. They are prepared to strike at Russia. And we are pretty much done with everything other than the final preparations. We have assigned Air Force to respective armies. We have the units in position for the respective attacks. And all that needs to be finished now is the recruitment of our Coast Guard units, which will protect our territory from any Russian landing while we fight them. Now, one thing that I'm not really considering is the fact that even if we completely take this territory, Russia could still technically launch a naval invasion from up here all the way like this, but I am not sure that's even technically possible. It might be, I just don't think it's technically possible. But still, once we enter deeper into the Russian territory, the next amount of units that we are going to train here are not going to be assigned directly to the motorized army, but they will instead be attached as a reserve army that is going to protect the entirety of this coast. Well, it's probably like this, the entirety of the coast, together with the Coast Guards. So we will see how that is going to work. But again, this episode is the final one to prepare for our attack on Russia. So we'll go through the motions, make sure that everything is in order while the game is slowly ticking ahead. So first of all, again, the recruitment will be done on 9th of October 2021, so we got about a month. We are working also on 3 units of Brigada Operatywnego Przeznaczenia. These units will not be ready for attack when we'll need them. But in the meantime, we still have these units that can be attached there and added to the attack. So we are going to do that. We are working still on the Krymeska Brigada helicopter unit. I'm thinking that this air cavalry is going to be deployed, even though that they are woefully unprepared. But we will need... I don't actually mean that we should deploy these guys as well, because we will need every single hand to do this attack. And I also wanted to check one more time what the disposition of factories is like. So we'll be stealing about 150 military factories, which is about half of the Russian production. So let's say we get like half of it. So we will be still fairly weaker than the Russians, but the element of surprise and the quick movement of our forces, and probably even a possible encirclement and elimination of the enemy, should make sure that we won't be stopped here. Now, once it is executed, and once we cut off the north, this unit, this army will continue north along this area, cutting off their communication with Kazakhstan, because I think that there were some decent factories here as well, weren't they? Oh, there's a bit over here, but nothing major. But we should eventually try to split and penetrate deeper into the area of Ural and try to move along this area, just making sure that we do not get locked into a long war. Now, what is absolutely necessary for us is to keep moving. The moment that our progress stalls, we have lost. That's basically it. We need to keep moving, we need to keep encircling, we need to keep destroying and separating the Russian forces. If we cannot do that, we are done. That is just the cold, hard truth. We'll have a bit of a a bit of an upper hand in forces in the beginning, but not that much. So we'll have to see, and really hope that the element of the surprise will be on our way. Now, Russian debt is increasing, so hopefully this war will mean that they spiral into, crisis, because our finances are just golden compared to theirs. It's just beautiful, while they are having not such a good time. So we are expanding our operations. You guys also asked me about the doctrines. The air doctrines, we are done. The naval doctrines, we are done. The only ones that we could get are the land doctrines, but there's, pretty much nothing. We could get the siege warfare, but I hate this one. But let's get it. Here we have the three-dimensional warfare. That's going to give us some new maneuvers. You give us organization for militia and motorized militia. Great. So that is just completely mimicking operations. Well, okay, let's get the siege warfare. The strategy is an incorporation of a new method to defeat typical features of modern sieges. As the defender has greater capacity to withstand the siege, the attacker's main aim is to bottle operational forces to create a strategic distraction rather than take the siege to a conclusion. Okay, let's unlock that, and coordinate and search might be good. Urban operations. Fighting in an urban environment can offer some advantages to a weaker defending force or to guerrilla fighters through ambush-induced attrition losses. The attacking army must account for 3 dimensions more often and consequently expend greater amount of manpower in order to secure a myriad of structures and mountains of rubble. Well, okay. And that's about all of the XP we have had. So yeah, let's just do a little review of the units that we are using, if there isn't something that we might add. You guys are pretty cool. Mechanism and Brigada is also pretty darn fine. Tanks are good. Polk Specjalnego Przeznaczenia is really good. Has a pretty damn good air attack. Financial collapse leads to conflict in Andorra. Self-propelled artillery and some heavy engineers. So these guys are coming home from Iran. You guys are still drilling, right? Yep, you are. How long will it take for you? 85%. Well, I think we might just take this general and send him home, because there is not much for them to do. There is still fighting between Iraq and Syria. Iraq should have the upper hand in everything, so eventually they are going to break them. But this is one thing that's gonna happen to us, is the retreat or return of our 21st Army. And at the onset of war, the game is going to return our general to us. So you are going to be reassigned. What? Oh, it's saving. Okay, good. Okay. So you are coming in here. These units are going to be... Dang, that's going to take a few more days. Probably not going to be ready in time. Okay, and what about... these rockets. Okay, so you guys might have had this right. Okay, so this way we would add additional factories to it, right? Production. Well, let's try this. And that's how it works. Yep, okay, so now we have added 10 factories to the production of 140 SAM rockets. So this one is the amount. This one is the amount of factories, and this is the amount of work that they have to do. I'm just confused whether or not we are going to get them as a batch or one by one. If we get them as a batch, that is just dumb, because then there's no point in you getting less than the absolute minimum and just repeating it. Fuel refining array. Fuel refining 4. New developments in chemical engineering allows the refining of fuel from new sources. So we get extra 20% fuel per oil. Good. I don't think we need more oil. I think we are so far in oil heaven that there really is no point. You would be pretty good, but you would also take a lot of time. I think that we are going to... Wait. Is there anything in electronics? I know that there were things that I wanted. Reset speed. You're taking a lot of time. You are also taking a lot of time. There's nothing that would give us a flat out bonus. Yep, nothing here. No ship's crew missiles. Ballistic missile technology, nope. Cruise missile technologies, nope. This would be great, but yeah, we would need to get better batteries, but I think it's too late for that. We'll just have to wing it without it. So let's just go with CAS9 gene editing. I mean, it's pointless at this point because we will not get it until we are well ahead into that war, but you know, why not? You guys actually ask if I can make a variant of the UAVs. As you can see, I cannot. The UAVs are just set, so that's something that we have, and that's gonna be just it. It's the same with the transport helicopters. You cannot modify those. Okay, and what did we want to do? Fall of Idlib. Okay, how is Australia doing? Not much here. We can increase our influence in there. Why not? I have completely given up on the idea of dropping the generals, because we'll just have to separate our armies accordingly. And we'll see eventually if this is not enough. I think that having all of these guys in the motorized army and having these units as support for them. I was hoping that at the start of the... Frankly, I was hoping that we would have, say, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, but really the industrial capacity of our country is still very limited. So defeating Russia is much harder than it might seem. And what the hell is happening here again? Come on, Australia. You serious? Come on. I mean, really. That is just sad. I think the production is continuing, right? Nothing is stalling. Well, we're getting much less IFVs. And then these guys are not really all that important. So that is fine. ATGMs, we got 14,000, so it's gonna be okay. APCs, IFVs, things are looking good here. Oh, utility vehicles. We are upgrading. We are upgrading. But I think we are pretty much done here, right? You are requiring the helicopters. You have all of the new BMP for use, so that is fine. And did you guys require some different utility vehicles? Nope, you got all of the new ones. No, you don't. Okay, so these guys have the Spartans. Okay, it tells me that we should probably chill with the production a bit. Okay, 9 days before we are ready for the attack. I don't think Russia is going to launch the attack against Europe. I think that they have their units in position, but they are not going to do it unless something dramatic happens. And they seem to actually, yeah, they seem to be reducing the size of their army. Maybe that's because of the depth. It's 15.5% now. Okay. I mean, even if this war is a bust and we get stalled, it might just come down to it that they will collapse as as a state based on financial issues. So we'll just have to see. Okay, 2nd of October. Let's expand our operations. I'm still confused about how this works in Tau, because you guys mentioned that it... Yeah, I guess you are right. It's all appearing in over Dnipro, so we can see here how we're doing. We gained a bit of technology medals, a bit of rigorous steel, but other than that, it's just a biggie. How's our anti-air? That is one thing that I am a bit afraid of. Wait, anti-air is here. All these new symbols. Who can recognize all of that? Okay, and you made also a pretty good point of us taking the airfields, making sure that those will be taken first. So I might just go, well, frankly, we are going to micromanage the hell out of this. I'm not sure how much of a fun it's going to be to watch this completely, because we will have to make sure that all of the units are moving in the right directions. We'll have to make sure that they encircle and so on. And the game is not really all that good in commanding your units. So yeah, but again, it's something that we will just have to do. Okay, I think that you guys can actually join here now, because that's just how it is. We are not going to get an additional division here under the command of a general that doesn't exist. Okay, and before we do anything, let's check out here. Everything pretty calm in the Pacific. China is still at war with Japan. Japan is still at war with China. Oh. Okay, so Hong Kong is independent in the game. It's seen as a puppet, right? Yeah, it is a autonomous regime under China. Okay, so here we go. Here are... Wait, 2 of the units? What the hell? Okay, so those are these ones. So you guys can join this army. You guys can also join this army and prepare for the attack here. Let's keep you there, and very soon we are going to get our units. Wait, on 11th October? Why did you move the date? Are we... Okay, something happened. It was supposed to be on the 9th, but I guess maybe bad weather or something. Well, it's fine. It is fine. Where's our agent? You got 38% in building up the spy network, which is not giving us that much information. But yeah, the forces seem to have shrunk slightly. They would be roughly somewhere around 580,000, so that means they would be about roughly 200,000 weaker than us. And that is in case they actually throw everything they have at us. Okay, so here we go. This is the Coast Guard unit. They are going to be dedicated in their own army, though we do not have any generals that can actually take command of this, but you guys are going to be assigned to area defense in the entire region, and you will defend purely the coastline. So let's see them spread out and take their defensive positions. Yeah, these guys took a lot of cars. That's why we saw the upgrades happening. Because while we have... Where are they? We have 4,000 trucks in the stockpile. All of the new ones and all of the original ones are now here. Okay, but this is good. You can see that there are, in many places, 2 of them. Okay, so that was a bit of an overkill, but fine by me. 2 of these units will have a decent defense. They're not gonna really stop anyone. They're not gonna stop any major land invasion, but they will stop it for long enough, and that is all that we really need here. Now it's 14th of October. All that remains to be said is that we need to declare war on Russia. So let's go over this thing one more time. So our heavy army has the goal of moving towards Moscow and taking the entire territory here. They will spread and just go and go and go until they envelop themselves in this line. We'll actually have to take Tutayev as well if we make it that far and hold this line. The second motor-mechanized army is going to cover the left flank of our main attack, and they're going to move towards and beyond Smolensk, and we'll see how far they're going to get. Ideally, they could cover this entire area, but this should be covered by the main attack. Okay, so we'll basically go all the way up to this river and hope to have it. And this actually should be... No, this is the river Moskva. Okay, so I'm not sure what kind of river that is. Well, it's too bad that they don't say here. The third motor-mechanized army is going to try to take this entire wing, hopefully dragging the enemy to try to take and breach through our forces, allowing us to swoop around and envelop a large amount of the Russian forces and destroy them. We'll keep looking mostly at the third motor-mechanized army, and I'm going to make sure that some of their forces actually go first against Rososh, because there is an airfield here with roughly 500 airplanes on it. Okay, so taking it out is one of our utmost priorities, and I actually think that I might just do it immediately, but I'll do that manually once the war starts, because I need the units to go there beeline. The fourth motor-mechanized army has 2 orders. They will be split into 2 waves. One is going to go to Volgograd and beyond, effectively cutting the entire region of Caucasus away from the Russian mainland, while the second part of this army, here they are. The second part of that army has the goal of taking over the entire coast of the Caspian Sea, including all of the major cities: Astrakhan, Stavropol, Grozny, and I'm not sure what this is, Dagestan. Okay, so and the airfields here: Stavropol, Grozny, and Dagestan airfields. And the last attack will be led manually by me. It will be the 5th motorized army that consists of 10 motorized divisions and 1 air cavalry division, and they are going to quickly take Crimea, move through the Strait of Kerch into Novorossiysk, and join up with the forces of the 4th motor-mechanized army. So my hope is that before Russia manages to properly mobilize their forces, we will have this entire territory under our control and this entire territory under control. I do not expect any resistance in this area, which is hopefully what is going to happen. But I expect a large resistance in the area of Moscow and this surrounding territory. However, if we settle on a border that is resembling something like this, we will be fine, because again, we are going to take most of, well, not most of, but we are going to take pretty large amount of the Russian industrial potential. And even if the best thing that could actually happen for us is if these two armies, especially the 3rd Motor Mechanized Army, could move all the way to Tatarstan and take it. Because this area is very industrial heavy. I don't actually know where. Yeah, they got these factories evenly split, but every kilometer that we take from Russia would mean more factories on our side and less on theirs. So this is going to be pretty important. I think that roughly this would be 96 and 40. About 150 factories is what we are aiming here for, which means that we are going to take roughly half of the military production of Russia and add it to our own, meaning that we're gonna have their half and our well, not even half, our 1/4 of that. But again, it's gonna get a bit more even, and if they bombard these capacities, it's their issue. If they damage those capacities, it's their issue. We are just going to try to continue north and just split our forces and have them fight us and give us the space to envelop them. Yeah, I guess that is all there is to it, really. Not sure how it's going to go, really. The element of the surprise is going to make this happen. Because you have seen that to recruit any new units takes about 3 weeks. Sorry, not 3 weeks, 3 months. So if that is going to be the case, we will actually have roughly 3 months before Russia is going to steamroll us, because then they will have the reserve divisions just come and smack us right in the face, and that's something that we cannot, accept. Speaking of which, let's deploy these two and just add them to our 5th Motorized Army, and reorganize. What's going on? Yep, like that. Okay, so now we have 11 motorized units of Brigada Operativného Priznašenia and 2 units of Krymejská Brigada. So you guys, where are you? We're all here? Where's the last one? Here. So you guys need to go here. And on that note, I'm going to end the episode. We're going to start the war in the next one. We'll see how well it goes. Wish me luck. Wish me all of the luck in the world, because this is going to be nasty. We are attacking someone that's unbelievably bigger, has about 5 times our industrial strength, has a lot of depth that is going to cripple them significantly. But if we are not able to take them down quickly, we are going to lose it. So, yeah, let's see. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. And I'll see you in the next episode where this attack on Russia is going to start.